On my YouTube channel, I've received a bunch of spam for people who are trying to increase IQ points today. So I thought, since there's nothing really interesting to do a video on, I'll lower my standards and do a video on this stock photo character and this cookie cutter website, which is the same one. Roadmaptogenius.com and roadmaptogenius.net had an almost identical standard for them. And Savion Freud, or Savion Freud, is the name that's used on the page as of 2010. This is the earliest capture anybody allowed it to make. If you go further back, you might find it being a dead page. I'm pretty sure it'll do something like that. I'm probably going to regret clicking that button a second ago. But it didn't include a picture of the individual, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, it had the same name on it. So the name may be consistent. But I wanted to point out some other consistencies here. I mean, it's been up for a while, but this is a stock photo character. It's probably not the individual involved. You can become a living Einstein, etc. Now, if you're not aware of it, intelligence in a really poorly done way could be defined as the ability to learn. That's one of many references. But I want you to look at the other pages. Yes, by the way, it included a spam pop-up, of course. I mean, every bad thing possible. So I'm very sure that I'm looking at something that needs to be done as a debunking here. But let's try something else. Let's look at incubatormaker.com and incubatormaker.net. Now, this happened in 2012 because of something I'm going to show you. This roadmap to genius or brain enhancement thing didn't make any money. But this is literally somebody using the exact same template for the pages. They changed this icon, put in their testimonials. It's a cookie cutter website. Probably even includes the yellow lining and whatever. And this is a page on how to make your chicken coop work better and make an incubator for hatching chickens, including a statement, all I want to do is hatch chickens, which I'm going to use as the second line in the video. You know it. It's exactly the same cookie cutter format. There is no difference. Let's see what we can find in here that would be a difference. You are protected by our 100% money-back guarantee for our egg incubator. Order Roadmap to Genius now. Savion Freud, Mark Sampson, incubator maker, and it's Mark Sampson using the picture. Now, you could argue that someone stole the authentic genius's image and used it on the page here, except you really can't. The website itself that this came from was a company that made this cookie cutter layout, and this is a stock photo of a model. Now, in order to find who it is, I would have to do a lot more image back searches, but I find it referenced as being at one time or another a Google image search reference to a bunch of pages I can't look at. It returns something, it just won't let me look at it. And the photo's labeled My Photo, and that's it. Now, this is 2013. This is 3 years later. Same name, that sort of thing. And that's it. And this is under our webpage that's called Digital Products Database. Now, the other thing you might look up, or find to look up, is something called rotogenflux, which was actually just a domain name that someone put up, and it had no content on it. It was blank. Someone just made up a word. And that was turned into the website for Roadmap to Genius. It's made very, very hard to figure that out, but after you do a couple of clicks, you find out about it. Rotogenflux was a word that was invented probably a long time before that by a random character generator or whatever. But in 2015 is when this spike comes up. That's the first time rotogenflux came up. And it peaked in 2017, and then it went down and stayed down. Every once in a while, a new page gets added and that sort of thing. So let's review. Roadmap to Genius, original version of it. I thought I would die stupid, but contrary to my teacher's prediction, I increased my IQ easily with a simple system. After years of trying, you can too. And it's called Roadmap to Genius. And it uses the same canned cookie cutter format, identical, to a page I mean identical. It's the default image and the default cookie cutter template for someone selling you instructions on how to make an egg incubator so you can hatch your eggs. That's literally the entire video. And this has been carried through because nobody else bothered using it. Maybe the company that made this cookie cutter format that was used for this used this stock image enough and all that, but just became kind of his or this project's. Order incubator maker now, and it would go to the order form and disclaimer, copyright, all rights reserved, and contact us and everything like that. It's literally an identical page. There is no difference between the standards for this. So the website owner or the website that might have told you you can increase your IQ, and some people are spamming this on my channel and probably on yours. If you found this video, you're probably being spammed as well. I think it's a scam. That's just my opinion. But what I'm seeing here is someone was so fucking lazy that they ended up giving themselves an identity based on a cookie cutter website template that was used only for one other thing, hatching chickens, and then just used it. The image is actually probably of some random person who sold rights to the image. When you do this as a model for stock photos, that's what happens. And rotogenflux, if you were looking it up, only started existing as a word on the internet of any promotional value in 2015, long after the cookie cutter guy and the cookie cutter page that was also used for an incubator happened. So, and obviously you can look on digital products and look them up as an author. And this actually has a much more complete background or backstory to this person. The Roadmap to Genius thing only ever was sold from 2010 forward, as far as I can tell. Maybe actually earlier than that. Maybe we'll call it 2009. Using a fake image source for a person, most likely. And more importantly, I don't think the name Savion and Freud here has anything to do with the subject matter. So, am I critiquing this? The website is so, I think the word is spacious or spacious, that it never really gets to the point of explaining anything to you, and it just tells you to go to Roadmap to Genius and grab the books or whatever. That's all it really does. It's somebody selling their book. And the money back guarantee thing, the only thing I see is nobody critiquing it, and I guess it's cheap enough no one cared? Anyway, the word rotogenflux started in 2015, has had virtually no real activity. Savion Freud, genius, Wile E. Coyote, here, Freudian slip, probably isn't a real person ever, and the image was indistinguishable from the cookie cutter template that the page was generated from. Probably just came with the downloadable content for making your page with the, the stock photo, my photo. If you're not aware, these were the kind of things you would use for a personal blog and maybe a professional profile, and this was the stock image that was included with it. So that isn't Mr. Freud, and the page is literally just a copy of something used for selling egg incubators, and that's pretty sad. I was going to try to find a way to debunk it. This is kind of cry in your beer sad. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.